And now it's time for a little thing called, appropriately, The World's Gone Mad. Yes, it truly is a world gone mad when Kamala Harris can say the following with a straight face.
Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president.
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, over at the Peace Summit, Donald Trump has perfected the art of passive aggression and humiliating Europe's more left-leaning leaders. Here he is getting to grips, as it were, with France's President Macron. Ooh, sure felt that one. And as for poor old Keir Starmer, there's nothing more humiliating than being singled out to speak and then not being allowed to speak.
United Kingdom. Where's United Kingdom? Where's my friend? Where? Come here. Is everything going good?
Very good.
It's very nice that you're here. These people all came in like 20-minute notice. And I think it's fantastic. And we have so many others, and just so many others.
Poor old Keir Starmer. Mind you, who can forget what Keir Starmer really thinks about Donald Trump?
I wouldn't want Donald Trump round for dinner. But don't underestimate the danger to the world if Trump is re-elected this time around. I'm anti-Trump.
Seems like Trump neither forgets nor forgives. So it will be fascinating to see what passive-aggressive delights Donald Trump has in store for this man, our very own Prime Minister Albo, when he sets foot into the Lion's Den, the Oval Office, next week.
The response of Israel has been to meet children throwing rocks with helicopter gunships, with tanks and with missiles.
How do you deal with Trump?
With trepidation.
Yeah, but how do you get by? How do you temper your language?
Well, you've got to deal with who was elected. So we have an alliance with the US. We've got to deal with him. But that doesn't mean that you're uncritical about it. He scares the shit out of me. Yesterday, Australia recognised the state of Palestine.
What a joke. And the cheer squad for that statement comprised Penny Wong and a motley crew of Canberra hangers-on, as Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, said.
Have you noticed that the talks with Hamas fell apart on the day Macron made the unilateral decision that he's going to recognize a Palestinian state? And then you have other people come forward, other countries say, well, if there's not a ceasefire by September, we're going to recognize a Palestinian state. Well, if I'm Hamas, I basically conclude, let's not do a ceasefire, because we can be rewarded and we can claim it as a victory. So those messages, while largely symbolic in their minds, actually have made it harder to get peace and harder to achieve a deal with Hamas. They feel emboldened.
Or allow me to paraphrase in a slightly less diplomatic fashion. Clowns like Macron, Starmer, Penny Wong and Anthony Albanese only damaged the peace process and endangered and probably cost more lives, both Israeli and Palestinian. So I, for one, can't wait for Anthony Albanese to be served up to Donald Trump in the Oval Office. I just hope the president does not hold back. Here he is dealing with the ABC. Our ABC, that is.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation Four Corners program.
The Australians, you're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now.
While all the world was focusing on the extraordinary release of the hostages from the evil clutches of Hamas, our ABC, which costs you and I over $1 billion every year, money which could be going on hospitals or roads or productive enterprise, our ABC, are trying to whip up a controversy about Trump's business interests. What a farce. Mind you, our ABC isn't the only ABC that's mired in leftist bile and toxic TDS.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
Yep, just cut him off. That was former Clinton spin doctor and now TV host George Slopadopoulos, according to Trump. Stephanopoulos simply cutting off the Vice President of the United States mid-sentence. Unusual decorum, to say the least. Donald Trump was not impressed.
Your ABC fake news. Brian,
First of all,
I
congratulations.
don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
Meanwhile, Time magazine finally found an angle they were happy to run on Donald Trump. Yes, as any photographer knows, one of the least flattering angles you can shoot a portrait of someone is from directly below, which is what Time magazine did. Trump was not impressed, calling it the worst photo he'd ever seen. But the AI memesters got their revenge. Meanwhile, on chat show phone-ins and across social media, more and more former Democrats are recognising that they were lied to about Donald Trump.
I'm a proud Democrat,
How so?
and he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration.
First of all, I'm a registered Democrat who voted for Trump. I thought this would never happen, but some of the Democratic Party is finally walking up and saying President Trump is doing something good.
Wrong to hate President Trump, and it took October 7th for me to realize that, and him coming into office, and with whatever the Democrats are these days, and the rise of anti-Semitism, to make Trump the common sense hero of Israel these days.
Inside of this, you really have to ask yourself, what was it in the first place that caused you to hate this man so much and to oppose him so much?
Nothing like the scales falling from your eyes. Still, what makes this such a mad and crazy world is that so many Australians are still labouring under Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, or in the case of Liberal former Conservative, now turned professional bedwetter, it would appear, Senator James Patterson, Farage derangement syndrome.
Well, the Shadow Finance Minister, James Patterson, has warned his party a Nigel Farage-style agenda could lead to the destruction of the Liberals.
For senior members of the Liberal Party to be sneering at Nigel Farage's political agenda is almost Monty Python-esque. The Liberals have got the worst polling almost in history, while, oh, hang on, what have we here? Oh, yes, that's the latest poll out of the UK with Nigel Farage's party in blue at the top. And Patterson is saying the Libs don't want to mimic Nigel Farage? Don't worry, James. The way you lot are going, fat chance of that. Meanwhile, back to our lefties who have left the left. I found another absolute legend who's switched his allegiance from the Democrats to the Republicans.
Now, maybe it's just because I was raised Democrat, of course, and maybe they were just telling me, hey, Republicans are just racist, they're just bigots, and that's it, and that's all you need to know. You vote blue no matter who. Now I'm over here, and everyone I talk to is super nice. They're interesting. They're open-minded in a good way, not in a bad way like a Democrat where they're so open-minded their brain falls out.
And full marks to this woman.
Ask yourself, which one of us actually voted for the monsters? Which one of us actually voted for bad people? Because time and time again, it's looking like the Democrats are consistently on the wrong side of every situation.
And you have to laugh at this astute observation.
I can honestly and fairly say that the only thing that I have seen that has gotten worse under the Trump administration are the Democrats.
She might have a point there. Here is former Democrat Queen Nancy Pelosi losing her cool, shall we say, and her decorum.
Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Shut up, yeah. And let's not forget the extraordinary Trump peace deal. Here's one of the more insightful comments you'll hear, certainly far more insightful than anything you'll hear on the ABC or indeed most of the mainstream media.
I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump could find the cure to cancer tomorrow, and the leftists will still hate him for it. And the leftists will find a way to dog on him for it. The fact that the response of the left has been, or the lack of response from the left, has been nothing but negativity towards the peace deal that's being brokered by Trump for Israel and Palestine speaks volumes. It shows that they really could not give a flying frick about the Palestinian people and the lives that are being saved through this peace deal.
I could listen to her for hours. Meanwhile, here's the alternative narrative, the one favoured by most of the modern media.
Hello, this is going to be a long video, but I have a lot to say, so bear with me.
Actually, I don't think I can bear it, Greta, so forgive me for doing a George Stephanopoulos on you, dear. Perhaps you could go back to saving polar bears or something, or, you know, you could always go back to school, high school. Meanwhile, Trump has been sitting on his hands has not been sitting on his hands since the Middle East peace deal.
It took Trump 2 weeks to clean up the crime in Memphis. The residents are saying they never felt this safe. They are showing that the kids, they are outside playing, and they are saying that they haven't heard gunshots. They've never been able to feel this safe. And some residents are saying in 5 years.
Yes, peace in the Middle East. Trump says he's achieved peace in 8 different wars across the globe, and Trump even managed to bring peace to Memphis in the meantime. What would John Hyatt say?
Let's go to Memphis in time, baby. Memphis in the meantime, girl.
Yes, it truly is a world gone mad, although perhaps a slightly more peaceful one than it was a week ago.